Question 10 is also another question where some students will have problem with part B. Okay, so I do a quick run through on part A. Most of you will be okay to do the setup for direct proportion, and most of you will have no issue getting K. They have given provided you the value to find K. So upon finding K, do take note that you are getting an expression that you will be using for P and Q. And then you will answer the question by putting in the relevant value. Okay, so this part, there's no issue, but do take note of the equation here. So I will be making use of this equation in the next part. So the question is saying that, right, if there is any change in Q, then P will have some changes as well, which is quite obvious because both variables are related in the equation. So any change in Q will give rise to a change in P. Okay, so the question says the value of Q is multiplied by half. The effect of Q multiplied by half will be something like, originally is 1 Q, it will have become half Q. Okay, so when you are at the equation here, you need to understand that you are taking a cube on 1 Q. You cube the value of 1 Q. Okay, so right now the 1 Q will become half a Q. So if you go and cube the original Q, you are going to cube half Q. So it's like I cube both sides. So when I cube both sides, so in a way, this one will be the new value of Q. So if I want the new value of P, I will change this to the new value of Q. So I change this to the new value of Q, and this is what I've gotten. Okay, so this one, I'm going to compare it with the original P, because the question says that the value of P changes by a factor. So I'm going to compare to the original. So do take note that where is the original P? So this whole thing is the original P. This whole 54Q cube is the original P. So can you see that the 54 and the Q cube is here? So I kind of reshuffle so that I get the 54Q cube. And that is actually my original P. So the factor that P changes by is 1/8. That means now the new P is 1/8 of the original P. So the new P is 1/8 of the original P. So that's what we meant by the value of P changes by a factor M. Okay, so for this question, if let's say they never ask for this way, they can actually rephrase it. They can rephrase it. What if Q is decreased by 50%? They can rephrase it. So Q is multiplied by half is essentially the same as Q is decreased by 50%. And they could have asked you, find the percentage change. Find the percentage change in P. If let's say the question have asked this way, I would have found my new P and I will press out my new P. I will have pressed this out. I will have pressed the 54 times 1/8. Then I will get 6.75 Q cube. So if they have asked for the percentage change, I will have done it this way. I will have get a new P and I will compare with my original P. So my percentage change, if I rephrase the question, will be whatever new one, which is the 6.75 Q cube, subtract the original P. Then I divide by the original P. Sorry, I keep writing wrongly. then I can calculate my percentage change. So if you go through the calculation, the Q cube will cancel away. And you find that it's a negative percentage. That means it will be a percentage decrease. So it actually decreased by 87.5%. Okay, so in the same way, they can rephrase it to Q being decreased by 50%, find the percentage change in P. So the procedure will still be the same, but the calculation, the ending calculation will be a bit different. So the phrasing is a bit different here, but essentially it's the same thing.